You got to get past Martin again, and then
Easy.
and, I don't know if it's easy.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the hype for the Olympia this year, that has now begun with this official poster from Mr Olympia LLC. And this time again we have those three guys, Hadi, Derek, and the reigning Mr Olympia Samson. Now I believe these three are gonna be the ones fighting for that Mr Olympia title again. Now this poster is no injustice to any other top athlete who is gonna be competing at this year's Miss Olympia, specifically those other guys who have been in the first Olympia callout. Because all these guys, like Andrew Jacked, Martin-Fitzwater, and maybe a couple of other guys as well, maybe they have earned the right to be on this poster. But the thing is, this specific poster, that is kind of unique because all three of these guys, they are Miss Olympias now, and they're gonna be the ones fighting for that Miss Olympia title again this year. And as great as Andrew Jacked is, and even though he brought such a phenomenal package at this year's Arnold, that was probably one of his all-time best. The judges aren't considering him for that top 3 finish in the world, at least as of yet. And we have to keep in mind, he has to do another show before the Olympia this year to earn his Olympia spot for this year. So this isn't gonna be very long off season for Andrew Jacked, and we expect to see him more or less the same at the Olympia later this year, as we just saw him at this year's Arnold. Maybe with a tiny bit of improvements, but not those kind of major improvements that the judges wanna see. Like for instance, a better posterior chain, especially in the lower half. So whom do you guys think is the favorite among these three men to win this year's Miss Olympia? Especially if all of these guys show up at their all-time best. Well, I'm gonna say, I have to go with the reigning Miss Olympia Samson. And that isn't me being biased towards Samson, because there is a consensus that Samson was a tad bit off at this year's Arnold, especially at the prejudging, and Derek was at his all-time best. But we all saw how Samson was able to improve overnight, and he closed that gap big time at the finals, and only 1 point separated both these guys. But what are the chances that all three of them, they are gonna be at their all-time best? Well, they are very little, because for some reason, this doesn't happen a lot at big shows, especially at the Olympia, that all of these top guys are gonna show up at their 100%. Now one thing is guaranteed. The Olympia this year, that is gonna be one hell of a show, because it has now become so unpredictable. So Hostile just dropped some Sherpa-lined zip-up hoodies and forced hooded jackets. So do check them out and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. So Florian Poirson makes it official that he's gonna be making his return to the men's open bodybuilding stage this year at California Pro in May. But most importantly, this is a comeback to the men's open bodybuilding from classic physique, but from a guy who was originally in the men's open. So Florian is returning to that division where he truly belongs, because he kind of made a bad call of downsizing and trying out a smaller division, the classic physique division. And the thing is, the man was always meant to be huge and to compete among the big boys. Now call me crazy, but those are some of the best quads in the pro bodybuilding scene right now. Even the quarter turn, that looked so damn impressive because of the thickness of his legs. Now at this point, the way Florian is currently looking like, his upper half has got some catching up to do in order to have the most ideal proportions, in order to have that perfect balance top to bottom. Now his conditioning, that looks crazy for 11 weeks out, and he's smart enough to not to do a show like the Pittsburgh Pro or the New York Pro, because sometimes you have to be realistic about your goals and what show you can go for. And Florian is returning to the men's open class after almost 5 years, so we do not know how he is gonna compare with this current roster of the men's open bodybuilders. We do however know that he has got a crazy X-frame and he has got that amazing V-taper, and that opinion is based on his look. From Portugal Pro back in 2019, when he made his pro debut and he placed top 4. Now this is certainly one of the most anticipated comeback to the men's open class, because this is a switchback from classic physique to the men's open, and I for one just cannot wait. So the mutant Nick Walker posted a rear lat spread 10 weeks out of this year's Pittsburgh Pro. Now, we have to keep in mind this is a pose. That was probably his biggest weakness during the beginning of his career. But the man has came so far, improving this particular shot. Now, this is Nick Walker's first prep with his new coach, Kyle Wilkes. And that man also seems extremely confident, especially when he was asked, where does he rank Nick Walker at his all-time best at this year's Mr Olympia? Where will he place? And just like the mutant Nick Walker, his coach also 100% believes that Nick has that kind of mass and freak factor that is literally unmatched. And if he really nails it, 100%, he can go all the way and fight for that Mr Olympia title this year against those top 3 guys.
Level of mass that not many can with. And if he's hard and he's full, I'd like to see anyone stand next to him. I just don't think we've seen that version of Nick at the present time yet, you know?
Now, that being said, all this is just talk until Nick Walker proves himself on the stage, and he's gonna get his chance at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro in 10 weeks' time. A chance to be the 4th best bodybuilder in the world right now, Martin-Fitzwater, which, by the way, Nick Walker claimed is gonna be easy. So before anyone accuses me of creating drama, well, these are Nick Walker's own words from the 200th episode of the Bro Chat.
Where do you know what? Where do you see yourself? Like, if you win Pittsburgh, you got to first, you got to get past Martin again, and
Easy.
then I don't know if it's easy. He's put on a lot of size.
Me too.
Okay, I missed you, Nick.
And yes, just like most of you guys, we were also a bit shocked to see Nick Walker on the Bro Chat again, because this is something no one saw coming. So shout out to Fuad for getting him on board. So let's get back to Nick Walker's comment, especially all those additional comments when Fuad argued back with Nick Walker over this upcoming battle with Martin. And the mutant kind of continued to take Martin very lightly.
Beat me at my worst, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but he was a lot smaller, so I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah. Well,
I think you
I'm
guys are.
pumped.
I think you guys are both better. So you might edge him out again. You might. I don't know. We'll see. He's got some momentum riding the 4th at the Olympia.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna end soon.
Okay,
So at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, we are either gonna see one of the greatest comebacks by the mutant, or in the worst case scenario, where he loses to Martin, he's gonna get the worst backlash throughout the bodybuilding media, as he's making all these big claims, and he will have to back him up. Now, I am sure most of us are gonna jump on Nick Walker's hype train if he beats Martin, but if he loses, then that is gonna be the end of the discussion for Nick Walker as a contender for that Mr Olympia title again. Now, as far as I can remember, there has been only one physique regarding whom Nick Walker said that he could not have beaten at his best, and that was Hadi, especially from the Arnold, Ohio last year. So I kind of wonder whether we're gonna get to see something like that version from back in 2023 when Nick Walker had to sit out of the Olympia that year because of that hamstring tear. And that is a look that unfortunately the bodybuilding world could not see that year. And that is the year that Nick Walker says he would have won the Olympia. But that is no ifs and buts at this point. So with Matt Greco and Wesley Wizards doing this upcoming Detroit Pro, I don't believe Jack Eagles, he is gonna be able to fight for the win here. This, however, is one of the most anticipated pro debuts of this year in classic physique. I mean, the man has got all the tools to be called truly classic. And if that is in fact the case, then why won't he be able to give both these guys a run for their money at this show? So these two guys, they are seasoned veterans. And Jack is just 22 years old. And the man just isn't on the same level in terms of the overall density and muscularity. And yes, I know this is classic physique, but still it's bodybuilding. Otherwise, Logan Franklin, he would have won the Arnold instead of Mike Sommerfeld. The fact that Jack is just 22 years old with such an insane physique, that just says it all about this guy and how bright his future is in classic physique. Now after Detroit Pro, Jack is gonna be doing FIBA Germany, which is scheduled 2 weeks after that show. And there he will have a better chance. Unless one of these guys, Matt and Wesley, they decide to do FIBA Germany as well. As both of these guys, they are also searching for their Olympia qualification. Now as for Jack Eagles, there is definitely an argument for him being one of the best classic physique pro, especially at his age.
He's got a good structure, very Arnold-esque, and he's done well here. But has he outgrown the classic division, Sean?
I agree with you. He should be in open bodybuilding, and he would be the next coming of Arnold.
So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.